Hello and welcome to this video series where we're checking out submissions to the Dungeoncrawler Gamejam of 2023. This time we will have a look at Mind Block by Spot On J2K. And this is a game I was a bit afraid of, so I saw some Discord chatter about it, and it seems to be rather complicated and complex, and I might not be able to understand it right away, but let's just try and see how far we get before I might need to read something up on Discord and so on. So, first person Mind Explorer for Dungeoncrawler Jam 2023. WSD, arrows, numpad, movement. Alright. We get that space. Outside combat, make bridges in front of you with your recalls stored in your brain, located at the bottom of the screen. Left click in combat, pick up the block to use on the recollection enemy. Right click, automatically put held block back in slot. Alright. Match the colors of your blocks to the recollection squares to do damage, but watch out for their counterattacks. Gray squares hurt you instead, and green squares do double damage. Okay, gray hurts. And green double. Alright. Since this is unfinished from what I originally wanted to do, it is most beneficial to line up red squares, since red is tied to the enemy's strength. Red enemy strength. Strength is the only stat that made it in, and decreases it. All the other colors will damage its HP though. Okay, so focus on red. Focus on red. Okay. Find the 9 lost memories. They appear as puzzle pieces scattered around the world. Every certain number of steps, the world will switch from the bright side to the dark side. You can replenish your supply of recall blocks by finding the floating brains. I ran out of time for this. I worked to the very last minutes. I hope... I'm checking, like, what is the submission time. I hope the game is still somewhat playable and beatable. I plan to update it greatly after the jam. So, just so you know, as a judge of the game, I am playing the initial version, and I'm also recording that shortly after this time frame you can see up there, when it is not allowed yet to do any updated versions, because we have to judge the original version. But when you are seeing this video, which I will publish in the weeks and months after that, I'm not sure yet how this will work out, you will probably already find an updated version. You can find that down in the video description. You can find a link to this itch.io page, and there you will then have additional options to download if there are any updates available. Yeah, and with that, let's jump into the game and see if I can make sense out of it. Let's have a look. Alright, so here we are in Mind Block by Spot On J2K. I don't think that there is any music, but we will see if I need to readjust the volume. So let's start a new game. We can have the instructions again here. More recalls to fill my brain. No, I think let's go through that here as well. WSD arrows, numpad, movement, left click, use recall blocks autumn 3 to make bridges outside of combat. In combat, pick up the blocks used on a recollection enemy. Again, I find myself lost in this world of deep meditation. My mental strength fails me, but with enough focus, I can find my 9 lost memories and escape. The chasms between the train of thought can be overcome by utilizing my recalls. Their patterns should make trusty bridges that will see me across. I am thrown into turmoil between the bright side and the dark side, being forced to banish my recollections to a place they will no longer be remembered. If the colored elements of my recalls match those of my recollections, they can be conquered. Perhaps in my search for memories, I will come across more recalls to fill my brain. Alright, yeah, this looks very brainy. Behind me there is another other way. This shows memories 0. Maybe I can just move myself right now. 1 second. Let me readjust something here. Like this. Well, this is not really helping if I'm... 1 second. Alright, that should work, and now you can see all the interface options. Okay, we have a bunch of... I think that's just developer stuff here we can ignore. I think the frame rate of the game is very low. Can we see the frame rate somehow? Yeah, FPS is 22. Yeah, it really feels like you can see that the mouse, the cursor is like stuttering a bit. I'm not sure how that comes across as a YouTube video, but yeah, that's stuttering, and you can also see with turning that it's not super fast. Now, talking about perspective and so on is probably a bit complicated here. Can we jump into the... No, we can't. I want to talk about... no, we're on the dark side. Okay. I want to talk about the perspective anyways, even though we don't have any walls and so on. It looks like what I can get from the tiles, because we are standing on the tile. And I think where this dark zone is, that's the end of a tile. Right? If we turn around, that looks like the tile is ending here. So in theory, we have the wall here, and this is the tile. And I think this would work well as perspective in a normal environment, which obviously we don't have. And the controls, they are, well, the animation is relatively slow with moving forward, and, well, turning I think is a bit faster. It does not queue up any commands, so if you move forward and right, forward right, it's never turning right, forward left, forward left, forward left, forward left. So you really need to wait until the full animation played out. Otherwise, your command will just be cut off. It's not queuing anything. You can hold the button. So if you're moving forward and then holding the right button, then you can turn the soonest possible. But that's always kind of an suboptimal workaround, which is, yeah, it's not the best option, because you basically need to reuse and learn this. And now I am in a recollection window. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Recollection, strength, HP 66. I'm not sure if this is now a random encounter. And I'm not sure actually what I can do here. So, also it feels like the cursor, it's jumping frames sometimes. No, okay. So the cursor is automatically centered into these tiles. And now we can drop these into the fields. Okay. So is this, we can't rotate them, right? What do we need to do? Do we need to match 4 or something? We don't have any green tiles. So green was double damage. Focus on red to decrease enemy strength. So let's just try and put the... okay, that didn't work. Or that did nothing, no idea. Can we just drop them anywhere like this? Recollection. We have 20 HP. That thing has 51 HP, I guess. Now we have 10 HP. What happens if we just drop that here? Then we are dead, apparently. HP 0. Now we have negative HP. I don't think that's supposed to be that way. Aren't we supposed to collect the brain or something? I hit escape. Oh, escape is closing the game. New game. You will get a screen for that in a second. I think the game is a bit, or OBS is a bit slow finding the game. Okay, so we are basically trying to build a bridge here, I think. We have brain 4, whatever that means. We should focus on red, but I have no idea. It has a strength of 10. If we drop like this thing with 4 red just into that thing, it just removes these 9 tiles. If we put that in there, it also removes 9 tiles. So no matter what we do, it removes 9. But we lose 10 hit points because I guess it has 10 strength. And then our HP is just going into the negative. Maybe we just can't die. I also don't know what this brain thing on the left means. Maybe we failed now. Maybe this wasn't even a thing which was to create the bridge, but just a random encounter. Are we supposed to pick that thing up there? I think there was something mentioned for that, but I don't see that we can do anything. Let me check the description again. Left click in combat, pick up the block to use on the recollection enemy. Right click, automatically put held block back into slot. Yeah, that's fine. Outside of combat, make bridges in front of you with your recall stored in your brain located at the bottom of the screen with space. So let's see what we can do with space. We cannot pick them up. This seems to be some kind of random encounter. And I think let's try and get rid of that red thing. It didn't do anything. I mean, we are supposed to reduce the red, right? Right now, I can't do anything anymore. I think I'm dead now. So I need to restart the game apparently. Okay, new game. You will get the screen in just a second. No. Alright. So let's move forward. Now we get the battle thing. So all these things, every single part here is representing a hit point of that enemy. I don't know what these shapes are supposed to do. I guess that, let's say we take this part and we drop it here, that this will remove the purple part but not the orange part. That's correct. And it was saying that we should remove the red parts to reduce the strength. So if we drop this on here, or it does something, but it doesn't reduce the strength. So we are taking 3 damage each turn, right? Let's see if we have something with red and blue. Not on the top side. Red, blue, blue. Not really. Yeah, let's just take this one thing here. So it has 36, so it should go down by 9, I think, to set 27. Let me note that down. So we have 63 HP on the enemy and 3 strength. And we have 43 HP and 1 strength. And my prediction would be that if we now place this thing here, that the enemy will take 9 damage, so go down to 27. I'm not quite sure, but it might drop in strength, so go down to 2. But I think I tested that before and it didn't work. My HP will probably progress like 1 turn down to 34 to just 31, but ideally -1 strength to just 32. But let's see. Yeah, so this did what was expected, but I don't see how this right thing did do anything. Also, we lose 1 brain thing every time. But we got a refresh here, right? Let's use another one on the red one. Now it's 0. I think this is like an overload or something. The gray parts are supposed to hurt us. That doesn't seem to be a thing though. We can just avoid them. But let's try and just hurt ourselves in addition. Maybe this is also not working at all. Like now, maybe we are losing more, going down more than just to 25. Yeah, okay. So this is doing more damage. I'm not sure this red thing, if that is really doing what it's supposed to do, because it should reduce the strength, which I don't see it does. So let's drop this on that. And just anywhere. This seems to be just a random encounter though. And I'm supposed to create these mind bridges by pressing space, but I can't. Apparently nothing is happening here. So pressing space anywhere does absolutely nothing. Actually, here it does. Maybe I was not close enough. No, now it's not doing. It did not work anymore. I'm not sure why it did that and how that was limited. Okay, so that has 9 strength. We have 56 HP on the enemy, and we have 19. So we will likely just die soon. And we will also run out of tiles, which also means that we will die, right? I don't see how we can reduce the strength. It doesn't do anything. The red things. So does it do more than 9 in this case? So it should go. Does it go down to 38 or more? No, it's just 38. What happens if we put that on top of this? Is this just then reducing it by 5? Because we are only removing 5 things? Yes, it does. We are at -8. So we will not be able to destroy that enemy now. Because we are running out of these things. And now we can't progress anymore because we don't have anything. So essentially, I think we are stuck, and pressing escape just ends the game. So yeah, I will try and read if I can find more information about how to understand how to progress it. I mean, obviously the game seems to be like, we get a combat here. It seems to be unfinished. Like, I actually, if we maybe we can just place them on the green to remove more, then let's try that. So for the purple one, we have any, yeah, this has a, let's just try this now. 9. So does it go down further than, yeah, so this did more. So some tiles don't need to be overwritten with the same color. Like the green one do not. They just do extra damage. Other tiles need to be overwritten with the color. Like the red one. We are already dead, by the way. But we cannot collect these brain things. Also, they seem to be in between the tiles somehow, so we can't do anything there. I don't know how you can make these like bridges somehow. I'm pressing space, but nothing is happening. And now we get this again. Okay, so let me try to read something about the game if there's something I'm missing, and then I will give it another shot. 1 second. Alright, so apparently you might be able to collect them when just hovering the mouse over them. I am not sure. It doesn't seem to do anything. How am I supposed to collect these? So pressing space. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so this is weird. Pressing space is basically building bridges. You can see that every time I press space, I'm using up a brain in the lower left. But if I press space when I can't build a bridge, then it's just wasted, and basically I lost the game, but it's just not told. So I'm not sure how you can collect these brains. I just collected it, but I don't know exactly how. And then you're supposed to make these bridges to find new brains, like we did now. How can I collect that? Ah, okay. So you need to walk over that and turn. So we walk on that tile, which isn't even the tile the brain is on. I don't see how. Yeah, it's a bit weird that they are in between the tiles, so I don't know how we can even collect that thing. I mean, there are 4 tiles, and that brain is in the middle of that. So we got one thing missing now. And I'm supposed to collect this brain somehow. But I don't know how I can do that. So with other brains, it was like when I'm standing on the tile, the brain is on. Now I got it. Yeah, that's really, really weird. Okay, using it here. And now we are at the puzzle thing. And that is a memory we have collected here. And I think we are supposed to collect 9 memories to beat the game. But this isn't actually the battle, right? The battle is this memory thing, this matching these parts, but I didn't see any comments about that. I'm not even sure if that is like this, how this is then working. I didn't see like we can't heal ourselves. We can do the most amount of damage by matching the green tiles, like doing that. I mean, this is only 1 strength, so that's relatively easy. So we can do this to get extra damage, and then have something on the, yeah. This. And green. Loot this one for that. So basically collecting the green ones. I don't see how the red ones are even doing anything. Alright. We can't collect that without putting out another brain thing. There is another brain. And we have another battle with strength 4. But now we will also run out of these things. Red. And use this here. And that here. I mean, we cannot die, right? But the issue is that we are not getting new things of these, so I mean, we cannot die because it's just going into the negative. Yeah, now we can't do anything anymore. And we can't replenish them, I think. So let me have another look at the page if it was mentioning something. Match the colors of your blocks to recollection squares to do damage, but watch out for their counter attacks. They don't seem to do any counter attacks. Gray squares hurt you instead, and green squares do double damage. Since this is unfinished from the original. You can replenish your supply of recall blocks by finding the floating brains. Yeah, but the recall blocks, maybe this is also refreshing this stuff if we find these brains. But then we would need to kind of not trigger these battles so that it would work. But yeah, let me restart that now one time. I don't think that the game, I mean, it's an interesting concept, but I think it is extremely unfinished. And these are actually fixed positions, right? So they are pre-designed. Interesting. This is also using up our brains. So if we have this combat early on, we are pretty much screwed because we are missing them for other things. Now I can't use that here anymore. So I'm not sure how this plays together. But yeah. I think that might be too unfinished to really make truly sense of that, if that makes sense. So yeah, as I mentioned, I think the perspective would be fine for a normal crawler. Not 100% sure because I can only like abstract from what I'm seeing. For the controls, like again, I think for this game, for what it is, it doesn't matter. But usually you would want to queue these things up. The combat, yeah, I think the combat mechanic might have been interesting, but I don't think that it works properly with these, like, yes, green does more damage, but the reducing the strength doesn't seem to work. I'm also not sure if the level can actually be increased. Yeah, very weird. It's an interesting idea and something else at least. The art, yeah, it looks very, very rough, right? And also different types of graphics meshed together. I mean, this here is clearly down for the new. It's really centered around this one idea with the brain and memory, and everything else is basically secondary. So, yeah, the graphics are not pretty, but they fit the theme, I guess. The sound composition, well, there's no sound at all, so not much to talk here. And the duality theme implementation, I'm not sure how the brain stuff is like playing in there. Like, you can always make something up, but I don't see like the game is around this brain thing, and I don't see how you can interpret that with the duality. So I wouldn't see the topic as a strong thing here. I'm not sure. But yeah, this, I mean, you can always make something up, but I wouldn't probably like give it extra points or something for that there. So yeah, it's a very interesting and definitely unique game. But I think that game would need some more polish to make sense and have like the HP not going into the negative and picking up brains that it works properly. A couple of things, like why is this brain in the center of 4 tiles? How can I pick it up now? I mean, apparently it works somehow, but I mean, this has to work better. Yeah. Well, anyways, that was Mind's Block by Spot On J2K. I don't know if there will be any updated versions for that game, but in a case there will be, as mentioned on the page, you will find them on itch.io, and you will find a link for that down in the video description. And if you're interested in seeing more videos about the jam, you will also find a playlist down there with all the videos I published so far. And of course, you can subscribe to the channel, and that way you will be informed about any new videos I will publish now for the jam, and after that, of course, for my reviews and previews. And with that, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.